How do you become a content machine, aka a content freak? Well, today that is what we're going to be diving into. So, what you guys are going to learn: part one, finding your authentic and unique content brand; part two, how to create an infinite content system so that you never have to stress about what content to make ever again. You'll never have to worry about it, it'll just be done. So make sure to stay till the very end because I have a gift for you. And that is a gift that's going to help you on your content journey, really like accelerate and just jump you ahead and make sure that you are just out there smashing it. So if you're new to this, potentially you might not be, but this is part four of the Solopreneurship 101 series. So we are talking about building a content machine. In the previous ones, we've talked about whether you are actually capable of having a business, talking about mindset, metrics, and money. Part two is that there is a huge shift in the education space and the opportunity that there is going to be in the next decade with the creator economy. Part three was finding your mission and uncovering your destiny, really just finding out what your purpose is. And I would highly recommend going and watching those if you haven't done that. But today is all about getting yourself out there and becoming an absolute machine at making content. So if you don't know who I am, my name's Tom. I'm the founder and CEO of CreatorLaunch. We help ambitious people who either want to be their own boss or start their own, or by starting their own 10K to 30K per month coaching, consulting, or freelance business, or take their existing business to the next level with our simplified six-figure success protocol. Our mission is to make business simple and success inevitable so that you can escape the 9 to 5 BS, build the freedom and dream life that you see others living on social media, and candidly, what I've managed to do. So we teach how to craft, market, and deliver world-class coaching, consulting, and freelancing. And if you want to find out how we help people, there's a link below in the description. We have a short free training which takes you through our entire methodology, so you can just steal it if you want. And we work with all types of people. That's the beauty of this business, is that you can just package your skills, expertise, and interests and knowledge into something that people are desperate for. So we have people that do copywriting, audience building, tech consultants, movement, personal training, productivity, mindset, podcasting, publishing, Amazon FBA coaching, personal brand coaches, Web3 consult. We have everything. So if you have an interest, if you have knowledge, if you have skills, you have expertise, I would highly recommend considering how you can package it into a high ticket offer and never have to worry about making money ever again by learning the skills of selling yourself. And that's what we do. And today we're talking about one core component of this model, this methodology, which is becoming a content machine. So like I said, there's two parts to this. The first part is really how do you find your authentic and unique content brand? Because that's really what matters, and we'll go into why that matters. And then part two is how to create an infinite content system so you never have to worry about making content ever again, because you have all the ideas there. You have everything there. You just need to go make it. So if you're ready, let's go, because this is going to be an obscene masterclass. Like, there is a huge amount of value in this. And yeah, I hope you find it interesting. Stick around. You might need to watch it a couple of times. There's a bunch of resources that will come alongside it to help you get into this. But stick around. This will definitely be worth your time. And let's kick it off with part one, finding your authentic and unique personal brand. Look, so hopefully, if you're watching this, I don't have to explain to you why you need a personal brand. But if you need a reminder, it's pretty simple. So those without a personal brand on social media are going to struggle to demonstrate value in the market over the next decade. Therefore, you ain't going to get paid. That's with employers, jobs. You are going to struggle. Like, social media is the new CV, is the new resume. Like, when people get job applications, when businesses get job applications, where do you think the first place they go and look just to see if they can actually trust you? They go look on your social media accounts. So if you have some dog shit like social media account which hasn't got any posts, it's just like pictures of you just getting smashed, you really think that like people are going to trust you? Like, really think about this. So times have changed. If you want to stay relevant and you want to stay valuable within the market and get paid not only what you're worth or what you think you're worth, but like build something just extremely valuable, you need to have a personal brand. This is so critical to understand this. Like, remember, like Goldman Sachs is predicting the creator economy to double in size in just the next 3 years. So within the next 3 years, it's going to double to over $500 billion, $500 billion. So there's a massive opportunity for you to ride this wave. You just have to start now. And we're going to get more and more entrants into the creator economy, like people like me talking about this. So there's going to be more people doing this. So there is only one thing that will stand you out from the crowd. You are the only thing that is going to stand you out from the crowd. Your stories, your personality, your likes, your dislikes, your frustrations, your desires, your friends, your enemies, your dreams, your fears, your successes, and your failures. These are all the elements that make up you. And your job with a personal brand is to get all of this out there. It's just to get all of this out there. And it's all of these elements that work together in harmony to build an authentic personal brand. That is what makes up authenticity, is just all the nuances, all of the things that make up you, so that people can trust you. People want to trust you. The aim is not to build an audience. The aim is not to build an audience. The aim is to build a cult. The aim is to build a cult following. The deeper that people understand you, the more they will trust you. The more they will trust you, the more likely they are to hand over cash. So, how does one be authentic through content? So, to be authentic, there's a couple of frameworks that I've put together. The first one is I call the 3 V's. So, authenticity is located at the nexus point, the middle point of 3 things: your values, your voice, and your vision. And each one of these elements is unique to you. There's only one of you that has all of these unique perspectives. So let's start off with vision first. So your vision is what we actually uncovered in the previous video to this about finding your destiny. Your vision is your discovering your ability to dream big and to match your dreams to your unique skill sets that you can be paid for. We called this your ikigai. So the Japanese concept of finding your purpose, and it's a really easy exercise that you can go through. Go watch that video and you'll be able to go through that. But people love to feel connected. Like, even better, they want to feel part of a story. They want to be a member. They want to be a cast member in your story. They want to feel connected. Why is it that when you see someone, potentially you see someone that is maybe famous, like, I don't know, like you'll have had this where you've seen someone famous and maybe you know a bit about them, and they will automatically feel like a friend. Like, they don't know who the fuck you are, but to you, they feel like a familiar person. You know the insides of their everything about them, and they immediately feel like a friend. So that is what we are trying to get out there. So people love to feel connected, and by declaring your vision for your dream future publicly, by declaring it publicly, you're setting a stake in the ground that is declaring that is where I'm headed. I'm headed to there. I'm going that direction. And that is what will turn casual audience members from fans into super customers, because that's what we're looking for. We want to turn people that are just finding you into actual people that like want to work with you, and you can help them. So your vision is the image of how the future looks like once your mission is accomplished. And my mission is to help people, like, simple. My mission is to help people escape the 9 to 5, to build a life of freedom, to understand the basics and how simple business can be and how predictable it can be if you follow proven methods, timeless, evergreen methods of marketing, sales, and delivery that help you build a business that builds you this like true life. So it is really that simple. You need to declare your mission and people will join you on that mission. But to do that, you need to paint a vision for them. So vision is part 1. Voice is part 2. So your voice is not just the way you sound when you speak. It's way more than that. It is the unique tone, the unique language, the unique style you use when you speak and write. So when you write and or speak, that is your voice, your unique voice. Like, for me, it's quite simple. I guess I'm like kind of laid back. I like dropping F-bombs, a little bit loose with my language, and that's unique to me. For some people, it may be really uncomfortable to drop F-bombs, and they might get triggered by that. To those people, I say, you're weird. It's a word. Get over it. But like, that is how some people act. And so for me, when I talk in the way I talk, I'm attracting people that really can see the world similarly to me, that they don't think that dropping F-bombs is a bad thing. And so that's great. And in the world of social media, you can congregate people together based on these like perspectives and sharing these unique kind of like ideologies around stuff. So your voice is the most powerful tool that you have to cut through the noise of social media. So do not be afraid of sharing your voice. You need to weaponize it. Okay, you need to turn it into a weapon. The third part of the 3 V's is values. So it starts by you actually identifying what your core values are. And values are just a representation of your worldview, of your perspective of how the world operates, the lens through which your experience and perspectives collide to give your unique understanding of what is right and what is wrong. Okay, just go through that again. So the lens through which your experiences and perspectives collide to give your unique understanding of what is right and what is wrong. So you guys will be familiar with the concept of sitting on the fence. We don't like sitting on the fence when it comes to content. If you sit on the fence, you will not grow. Simple as that. You need to be a champion of your unique core values, and I'll show you some examples of people that have done that. So the secret to growing organically on social media, the secret is actually just having extreme core values that polarize audiences. So I'm going to give you some examples here, and hopefully this doesn't trigger you, but probably the 3 fastest growing social media personalities of recent times have been people that live extreme lives, have extreme values, and they are not afraid to talk about it. They are not fence sitters. They sit on one side of the fence and they own that side of the fence. And they are the leaders of that side of the fence, of that garden. They are the leaders. Andrew Tate, love him or hate him, he has been the proponent for young, disenfranchised men who feel like they have no hope, who feel like they have no path, and they feel like they have no way out of their life. And what he did was create a community that gave young men the opportunity to feel empowered, rightly or wrongly, whatever you think, that is the case. And he did that by being extreme in his views and his values and his voice. And that led him to grow. That led him to get really big, really fast. We've seen the same with 2 dudes who, quite coincidentally, both are called Brian Johnson. Absolute, I don't know what it is about being called Brian Johnson. It makes you an absolute freak. So here we go. So one Brian Johnson, ex-tech CEO who like exited his company, got tens of millions of dollars, and has since then been spending all of that money on researching how he can live a human optimized life. And he has an extreme lifestyle because of it, an extreme lifestyle. And he's documenting on social media, and people find that super intriguing. And he is, again, not a fence sitter. Then we have this dude, Liver King, who you may or may not know, a guy that blew up last year based on his interests in eating raw meat. And again, yeah, he has extreme core values and extreme views, and was very clear on, this is the side of the fence I sit on. So look, you can speed up building your tribe by making it super clear that through your content, which side of the fence you sit on. So when you're making content, don't be afraid to say, this is what I believe in. This is my belief. This is the way I see the world, and get it out there. So I want you to go through an exercise of writing down your core values. Literally just do this. Get a fucking notebook and write this stuff down. Like when I give like exercises like this, I really do, my biggest suggestion is just actually do it. Like actually just spend 20 minutes just going through this shit. So first up, health. Like, what is it about health that you believe in? Like, do you think vegans are dumb? Like, yes or no? What is it? Do you think eating raw liver is dumb? Yes or no? Write this stuff down. Same with wealth. Like, I'm of the belief that buying a house is the dumbest thing that you could do. I genuinely believe buying a house is the dumbest investment anyone can make. Before buying a house, I believe that you should be investing in your education to learn how to build wealth and cash flow that you can then use to then buy real estate. Not a house, buy real estate. So I'm on that side of the fence. Relationships, I believe XYZ. I don't believe in marriage. I believe in polygamy, whatever the hell you decide. But like, set your stake in the ground and just be aware, like actually have the awareness about how you believe about this stuff. And once you define your core values, you can then link these back to your mission. And like I said, your mission is how you build your cult, which is your end goal. Your end goal is to build a cult. Whether that, again, if that triggers you or not, just think about what a cult is. It's just people that understand and believe in your worldview and perspective. And that's the end game. So part 2, how to create an infinite content library. So before we dive into how to create highly impactful content that builds, nurtures, and inspires your tribe, let me start by setting what the end goal of content, like the creation process of content, is. So why are we playing the content game in the first place? It is to become authorities. And being an authority is the first step of allowing us to build our tribe. Okay. It shows that we know what we're talking about, which is, transparently, this is the whole point of this video, is to showcase that I know what the hell I'm talking about. So people can feel like they trust me and want to work with me and actually be coached by me. Like, why would you want to be coached by someone that doesn't have a fucking clue what's going on? So that is what this content is meant for. It's meant to showcase me as some sort of an expert. Now, you got to think of this as a lifelong mission. And if we are going to consider this as a lifelong mission, then you need to act accordingly. You need to send out your time horizon to the future. So the end goal is to build what I call a library of ideas. So what is a library of ideas? So it's a bank of ideas unique to you that you can test, expand on, and reuse across different formats, platforms, and modalities over years and decades. Every single time you post something, all you are doing is creating a test. That is all you're doing. A test that helps you better understand your audience's desires, needs, and fears. Now, that should feel really empowering. Like, when you go to create content, instead of thinking, oh, I need to make something that works, I need to make something that goes viral, I need to make something that performs. No, you just have a hypothesis and an idea that you're just going to send out there to test. That's what this video is. This video is a test. I got an idea that I think it would be helpful to create a method that helps people create content and then put it into a video. Maybe no one cares, but that's a hypothesis, and we're going to act in a few different ways to test these hypotheses. So that should empower you. That should make you feel like, great, I don't have to worry about this being a slam dunk. I'm just going to throw it out there and see what happens. And we do that in 3 ways. So firstly, we act as a scientist. You need to test ideas. You need to analyze results. You need to make hypotheses, then create again and repeat infinitely. You then need to act as a librarian. You need to carefully and systematically save and track your content creation efforts so that you can refer back, iterate, and repurpose ideas that have been validated by audience. So in simple terms, you need to go back and see what's worked. So we do a test, we send a bunch of tests out there by creating content, and then we go back periodically, once a month, we go back and we look over the month and we say, that piece of content worked better with my audience than that one. That one performed better, got more likes, it got more engagement, it got more shares, got more bookmarks, whatever it might be. That is gold. That is your gold. Because then what you do is you take that information and you say, well, I'm going to make some variations of this test idea. I'm going to maybe expand on a couple of different parts of this idea. I'm going to maybe repackage it in a different way. Maybe I'll make a long form piece of content like a video or a newsletter. So you need to go back and you need to say what worked. And likewise, you look at the flip side. You say, okay, well, what didn't work? What in all of the content that I posted just did not resonate? And you use that to say, okay, well, probably not going to make sense for me to go and test ideas in that little area again. Okay, makes sense? And then thirdly, you need to act as a creator. So you need to systematize your content creation and scheduling. So a creator, an entrepreneur, I use those words if you're familiar with my content, you'll know that I use creator and entrepreneur in the same way. They're the same word. It means someone that is going to build stuff. And as a creator, your job is to make the content creation process as effortless as possible. And so to do that, you make systems, you make processes, and you make it effortlessly for you to create content. So for me, one of my systems to make these videos easy is that I have a light that just sits on my desk. It's right there. I literally just flick it on or off. So that's one part of this system. I then have my camera that is stood on a tripod next to my desk, and it stays there. And all I do is just turn it on or off. And then have my mic sits next to my computer. All I need to do is plug it in, and then we are good to go. So it's small things like that reduce the friction of creation that makes this whole thing easy. And it's just little things like that have taken me kind of like years to figure out. But the more frictionless, the less friction you have in the actual what it takes to create content, the more content you'll create and the more tests you'll put out there. Okay. So let's look at the scientist part first. So creating your unique content matrix of ideas. So what we want to do is we want to just create a matrix of ideas that we can create content around. Okay. So how do we create ideas to test? So it starts by defining 3 core content pillars for you. So for me, mine are entrepreneurship, personal development, health and fitness. And as you can imagine, those 3 things are potentially huge topics, which is great because at the middle of those 3 things is me, and no one can compete with that. And so you need to do the same for you. You need to define what are your 3 big content pillars. And these are honestly, it's just your gut feeling. What are your 3 biggest interest areas? What are your 3 biggest interest areas that you want to be able to talk about? I love talking about entrepreneurship. I love talking about personal development. I love talking about health and fitness. And these are my 3 areas of curiosity. I guess that's another way to put it. What are you most curious in? What are you most curious about? Because those 3 things, again, if we go back to thinking we're going to be doing this long term, yeah, you need to be thinking, what do I think I can create for decades rather than just weeks? Okay. So now we've defined those 3 pillars. We're going to break those pillars down into subtopics. And so here's how I've broken down entrepreneurship. Just listed these things. So solopreneurship, creator, personal branding, marketing, emails, direct response, copywriting, creative economy, financial literacy, design, video editing, AI, automation, education, YouTube, sales, product design, product experience, community, quality, quantity, systems, leverage, digital products, 9-to-5 jobs, networking. And I could list 100 more topics. But trust me, when you finish this exercise, you'll never need to worry about what content to create ever again. Okay, so start off with just 20 subtopics. So just list out straight off the top of your dome, what are the just break down your pillars into 20 subtopics. Okay, so then we have our subtopics. Now, what we then need to do is we then need to create types of content for each one of those subtopics. Okay, so each of those subtopics is then going to have a different type of content that you can create for it. So I call this the AAA and C framework. So this is how to create endless piece of content. So we have 4 main types of content. Okay, so we've got actionable, which is how, aspirational, motivational, yes, you can, analytical, here are the numbers, contrarian, here's why, and this is the not sitting on the fence. So this is the polarizing, this is the, I'm going to say, I think eating liver is the coolest thing. It's that type of content, the contrarian content. Now, this these types of content can then be served in different styles. So for actionable content, it can be how-to guides, it can be tips, it can be hacks. For analytical, it can be stats, it can be trends, it can be reasons. For aspirational, it can be habits, it can be lessons, it can be mistakes. And for contrarian, it can be fears, failures, lies, and beliefs. Now, we're going to take those things and we are going to mash these things up with our subtopics. So we're going to create ideas for each one of these subtopics based on these content types. Okay, we're going to call this the content matrix. This is where you're going to go into Chat GPT. So the end result is creating something like this. And in my gift at the end, you'll have access to my version. So you'll see exactly what this looks like, but it's a table. It's a table of ideas that you can then build off of. And the table is simple at the top. So at the top, you have the content styles: actionable, aspirational, analytical, contrarian. And then on the left-hand side in the Y column, we have all of the subtopics. And then in the middle, we have all of these topics, like these ideas. So what we're going to do is we then prompt ChatGPT to give us loads of potential ideas. So I've included the prompt below. I've included the link to the actual thing. I've put it in the description, so you can click on the link. You can go to ChatGPT, the one I've used, and you'll see the prompts I've used, and you just need to copy and paste and replace it for what you want to do. Okay, so you can follow exactly this in just a couple of clicks. It's dead fucking easy, dead easy. So first up though, whenever I use ChatGPT, and you got to just think of ChatGPT as like a turbocharged personal assistant, but you need to give it the secret is you need to give it really, really, really specific instructions. Otherwise, it will just turn out shit for you. So you need to give it specific instructions. So what I've done is I've created what I call my context. So this is a chunk of information about me. So this is, if I was to create 300, 500 words on who I am and what I do, who I try and help, my business, what I try and create content on, unique parts about about me, this is what I've created to tell GPT about who I am. And this is what ChatGPT will use to create specific stuff that is related to me, just me. Like I said, I've got the link here. If I click on that, it's going to take you to ChatGPT. You'll be able to have access to this and see exactly how I've done this. Okay. So this is a snapshot of this. So what I've done is I prompted it. So to generate ideas, I want you to imagine a content matrix table. In this table, the x-axis contains types of content, meaning ways to expand on a topic. Then the y-axis contains content topics to be matched with the x-axis. So you can just copy and paste this, by the way. You don't need to type this. You can go to my one, click on the link, go copy and paste this. And then all you need to do is you need to drop in your list of subtopics. That's all you need to do. You just need to list for your one content pillar, just go dump all of your subtopics in here, because that's all you need to do. And then it spits out this output. It spits out a table. It spits out a goddamn table. Like magic. In 3 seconds, it spits this out. So you can see this has given me a bunch of ideas. So let's go through this. So solopreneurship, an actionable piece of content about solopreneurship, how to successfully start a solopreneur venture. So that's a topic that I could write short form content on. I could write a little video on. I could write a YouTube video on. I could write a newsletter on. Aspirational, inspiring stories of successful solopreneurs. I've done this before. I've written newsletters on people in the industry that inspire me. Analytical, trends in solopreneurship, the rise of one-person businesses. Again, I've written about this. I've written about the rise of the creator economy. I've written newsletters. I've written short form posts. I've posted Instagram videos. I've made YouTube videos. So I've actually done this. I've taken this information and actually fucking done it. So contrarian, why solopreneurship isn't for everyone, and that's okay. This is a stunning topic because it's really important to understand that this is not for everyone. There are people out there that are better suited to just having a job. But like, if you're watching this, that isn't you. Like, that isn't you. Like, people who are curious about entrepreneurship, they just would never ever watch. This would never come up in their life. This video wouldn't be pop up in their algorithm. The algorithm knows that they're not that type of person. So this is how easy do you want to make this? How easy do you want to make this? Okay, like within a few clicks, you can have all these ideas. So yeah, look, you don't have an excuse. You don't have an excuse, and you should feel really empowered by this. And this should feel fun. It shouldn't be scary. It should just be like, all I need to do is list. I need to break down my areas of interest, whether maybe it's personal training. So I like break it down. I'm like nutrition, diet, types of food, macro accounting. If it fits your macros, like I could just keep on going down and list all these things, and then it'll just drag and just copy and paste and drop it into here, and you're done. So I've included a link. You'll have access to this actual sheet, this worksheet. You'll have access to this, what I'm taking you through in the gift I'm giving you to at the end. So step 2 is this idea of being the librarian. So the final stage to this, the second stage, sorry, is to create your library of ideas. Now, I've stolen this from a dude called Justin Welsh, who is probably what I consider to be the grandfather of solopreneurship. And he created a Notion database that acts like his library of ideas. And I put the link below. All it is this a place where you drop a link, and there's a drop down where you choose like what style it is, and then you go back and you score it out of 10 of how well it performed. Was that a 6 out of 10? Was it a 9 out of 10? And that's just a gut feeling. And then what he does is he goes back. You can see he's got dates that these are pre-built in through these functions. So they're pre-built in. In 6 months' time, this is the date. In 12 months' time, this is the date. In 18 months' time, this is the date. And he just repurposes his best performing content every 6 months. Again, you do not need to just be making forever endless new content. Repurpose your ideas, but you need to track them. And this is how. Okay, so library of ideas. So post your content, copy the URL, put it into the Notion database, enter the date you first posted it. You can do this. You can batch this. You can get a VA to do this. Like this is definitely a VA job. Like to go back and literally just go put in all these things. You shouldn't be doing this. You should just be going back and looking back and being like, that performed well, that didn't perform well. These are the ideas I'm going to repurpose and just repost. Like Justin literally just reposts his posts from 6 months ago. Okay. So simple. Then third is being the creator. So you need to be able to schedule and create. And so like this is why actually I recommend that everyone builds a core testing audience on X. I recommend people choose one writing platform when they start out with creating, either X or LinkedIn, because the exact same methods work on both platforms. You can just choose one or the other. I don't recommend trying to build at the same time on both. Just it's too much effort. Choose one. If you sell B2B services, choose LinkedIn. Like if you are more of like a creator like I am, I choose X. So that's up to you to make that decision. So I keep it simple. 3 posts per day. 1 in the morning, I have a motivational, inspirational post in the morning. In the middle of the day, I have an actionable advice, maybe a video, a tip, a thread, or a long post. And in the afternoon, I'll occasionally post proof, testimonials, and news about my business and showing me building the business. Now, if you're starting out on X, I've created a content posting schedule, and this is my gift to you. So here is my gift, is like your free X content system, which can be used exactly the same way for LinkedIn. So I just called it the X content system. I couldn't do it the X and LinkedIn because that would sound clunky. This can be used for LinkedIn as well. So this is my system here. So you can see it's got a scheduler, so you know exactly when to post these types of things. And it's got this entire thing here. So if I click on here, it takes you through to this. Okay, so you have this. So you have like what I'm taking you through. Then you've got an example content matrix. You've got my example. You can just duplicate this. And literally all you need to do, by the way, on ChatGPT, all you need to do is you can just copy and paste this into like a table on G Sheets, and then upload download it as a CSV file and then upload it into Notion, and then it will just create this table like that. Okay, so you don't need to go in and do one-on-one. Just take it from Chat GPT, copy and paste it. Literally, just go like this, copy and paste this into a Google Sheet. Download the Google Sheet as a CSV file, and then upload it into Notion. And you do that by, let's move this out of the way. So you do that by, I think, here you go, by importing. So go click on and make a page, import that CSV, and it'll create your own Rude Boy, your own content matrix. I can't believe I'm not paying for this. I'm not charging for this. This is mad. Okay, so you get your own X content system. It takes you through how to do all of this. It takes you through all of the different types of content buckets. I give you examples of what this type of content is. I give you examples of where I've used it in my content so you can actually see it. I've also given examples of other people as well. So here's Justin Welsh. So this is a highly I think we've got maybe, yeah, that's one of the ones that went semi-viral for me. Cold showers won't fix your bullshit, which is true. And I've got a library of high-performing posts. So these are all of these high-performing posts from all of the biggest creators out there. Let me make sure I've got, okay, this is not linking to the right one. Okay, so I need to go in and just relink that to my actual one. But if I go to high-performing posts, you'll see that these have all the examples of high-performing posts. So I just need to link it to the right page. And here you go. You can see all of these high-performing posts. So that is my gift to you. If you click on the link in the description, you can go and snag this, and it'll give you your X content frameworks, infinite content system, high-performing posts library, and you will be a machine of business. This is the exact method that I use to get 1,000% increase in my profile visits on Twitter. And so this shit works. So go snag it for free. So yeah, look, that was a lot of information, but you might need to go through this again. But just the biggest three things are: you need to create an authentic personal brand with your vision, your values, and your voice. And you need to become a scientist, define your 3 content pillars, be a librarian, start building that library of ideas that you can reuse every 6 months. And then being a creator, just learning the systems and processes to make creating effortless, and use the triple ANC framework to create infinite ideas and content. Now, if you want to knock years off your entrepreneurial journey, I've come up with what I think is the success equation, the equation to actually get success. And it is at the middle of time, proven game plans, clarity, and accountability. If you add all of those elements together, you will get success. So if you are fed up of your current situation and you know that there is a better future waiting for you, you hate your job, you hate your bosses, you hate your commute, and if you are serious about wanting to gain clarity on your future, build a business that has real impact, surround yourself with a team of high performers, get accountability and proven game plans to build your dream lifestyle, then we take on a handful of new ambitious students each month who are already understand that investing in themselves is the cheat code to getting what they want, because it truly is. I've interviewed some of the biggest creators in the world, and they have all said the same thing. Investing in themselves is the best thing they've ever done. So the 12-month CreatorLaunch mentorship program to get you to 10 to 30K per month with your online coaching, consulting, or freelance business. This program is currently a $6,000 investment in your education to join the community for 12 months. But we work with you until you're consistently making that. So it's 12 months or however long it's ever going to be, but we only really pick people that we know that are going to get it really fast. So imagine investing $6,000 to learn how to never worry about making money ever again. That's the beauty of this business model, is that it is high ticket is high profit margin, typically 80, 90% plus. So yeah, if you want that, we only take people that are serious and driven and want a better life. If that's not you, I can't help you. I'm sorry. But if it is you, book your free one-to-one advisory call with me through the link down below, and let's get to work. And I will see you next time. If you like this, if you thought this was useful, like, please help me out here. Like, if you made it this far, I'm just absolutely impressed. And I think I've got something up here. Like, if you made it this far, I think I hit it here. Yeah. Comment below with the magic words, "I'm eating my pizza," so I know that you made it. And please hit the like button. Please subscribe, because I'm going to just be bringing absolute fire on this channel over the coming years. And I want you to be one of the first people to be here. And yeah, like, have a great week.